Okay, this video is going to be about people not being satisfied with the performance they're getting out of their Carcano rifles with the ammunition currently available. So, your choices are, off the shelf you got PPU ammo, 2 different bullet weights, but it still uses the 264 diameter bullet. Even though PPU makes a 68 or 67 diameter bullet, which does give better performance, but it only offers it as a reloading component, not loaded ammo. And your other choices are going to a few custom reloaders online, which a lot of their stuff is running close to $50 for 20 rounds. They have several options and different types of bullets you can get, but yet people who have even tried this ammo have found that keyholing and the performance is not where they want. Okay. I did a lot of work and developed a few loads, and I also ran these accuracy tests in I think 20 or 21 videos. There's a playlist on my channel. You go through them all, and I'm going to give you a card to one. And specifically is a rifle I had, and you watch the video, I do the bullet test and I show you, and I use the PPU ammo you can get right now off the shelf. I use one of my reloads, or 2 of my reloads, the Hornady 160 grain bullet and the cast bullet, and watch the results, you'll be amazed. I even do the bullet test with all of them, okay? And the card is right here, so watch that video. So basically, I guess the meaning of this video was I was going out to test some stuff, and I took some of my reloads and I just went into a cabinet and drew out of my collection this particular rifle. I just stuck my hand in there and grabbed the first one. It's a TS carbine, 1917 date on it. It is not a cut down gun. It was made as a carbine. And I took it out and I just wanted to see how it would shoot with 3 different loads I had. The old 160 grain bullet, which I still have some, the PPU correct diameter 139 grain bullet, and my cast bullet load. Now, one of the complaints on some of these ammunitions or these exotic bullets they're using is they only stabilize in a long rifle. And people try telling you that the short rifles with gain twist and all this other stuff, the ammunition will not perform well in them, okay? Well, if the ammunition was developed and was ballistically correct, okay, it would perform well in a long rifle, and the only difference in a little short barrel rifle like this would be that the velocity drops down when you run it on a chronograph. If you fire something in a long gun, velocity is going to be a little higher. You fire it in this one, the velocity will be a little bit lower because of the shorter barrel. Also, the recoil is a little bit stiffer with the shorter barrel, just common sense. They should be accurate in both guns. Okay, if they're not, then something is wrong with this load. It's not performing well. It's not precision. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to talk about. And this is for, and I know that there's a lot of people that do not reload, because the only solution is you'd have to reload your own ammo, and there are a lot of folks out there that don't do it, don't want to get time invested and all this other stuff. Okay, so just for the fun of it, we're going to go out, I'm going to edit this. We're going to shoot this gun, my 3 different hand loads, and I'll show you the targets. I show you the targets in this. And it was all done at 50 yards using these wonderful Carcano sights, you know, which that in itself is, you know, trying to get the sights dialed in to where you can shoot it. And I'll show you the results. Now, I would like to ask, you know, if you think about a membership, because when I go into more details than that, the videos I make about this stuff are going to be members only. In the past, I was pretty liberal with it and that, but I found that when you pay that huge price of $2.99 a month to gain access to these videos. I found that people willing to do that do pay more attention to me in there. So membership is something you should think about. Alright, so let's go to the range and then I'll conclude this in the end here. Now the thing about these guns is the sights. Okay, you got to use Kentucky windage with these sights. And I get a sight in, it shoots high and a little to the left. So the first ammunition I'm going to try out here, and the point is kind of moot on this. It's the ammo I made with the Hornady bullet. Hornady no longer produces the correct diameter 160 grain torpedo bullets. We're going to do this one first as a control, and because of the recent situations with the reloading crisis, the ammo crisis, the gun crisis, it's difficult to find components. And actually the powder that I use in this load is no longer manufactured by IMR, International Military Rifle. That powder's dropped from the line. So even though we can't replicate this, we're going to use it. I got a few rounds left. I'm going to use it as a test. And we're going to take, and this is at 50 yards. I'm just trying to go for accuracy. And this one we're just going to try and see if we can get some rounds on paper and check out the accuracy. So, got it out, no big deal. Double check. See, so I don't know if this is going to skew our accuracy. Alright, that won't come out. Alright, so I got all 5 shots on the target at 50 yards. That was the first one there, and then the other 4. And again, as you see, the reason the elevation is weird and they're close together is where you put that front sight down in a notch. So next up, I'm going to try to put 6 rounds. This is the PPU 139 grain bullet. Now this one was the load because those are the only correct diameter bullets you can get. 140 grains, 20 grains less than what it should be. And again, I developed this load. It was really accurate, really nice, but now you can't get the powder that I need. So probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to experiment and develop a couple other powders and try them and see how they work in this. I'm going to try to get a sighter down in there. Okay. Alright, that one was fairly on center, but super high. So now I got to get my top of my rear sight across the center of the target and lower that front one down to the same position each time. Try to get consistency. Even when the ammunition is accurate, these guns are a challenge to shoot and hit what you're shooting at. Okay. I'm going to review all this in a separate video, but that was the first one. I was going to the right, had the sight picture, and it was high. So I had to adjust my point of aim, and as you see, the other 5 bullets pretty much hit there. No keyholing, no BS. If you understand how these guns, you get a big enough backstop, get a big enough target so you know where the bullet strikes, and then just keep the sight picture, and once you know where the gun is shooting, you can hit, okay? Granted, this is 50 yards. 100 yards might be a different story. Alright, next up is the famous cast bullet load. Now this here load is the one you hear on the message boards and that, and I think eventually, just for cost, you're going to have to come to this. It's a very light load, it's a very accurate load. The only problem is casting these bullets with good alloy and using Hornady crimp-on gas checks, which are quite expensive, like a nickel a piece. But this load is super accurate. The bullets are a tad oversized. So if you have a shot-out bore and you're like keyholing a lot, I had a rifle similar to this. It was, I think, a newer model though. It looked nice, and you could see rifling, but the thing would shoot like a shotgun at this distance. And the only thing that I could do is these cast bullets did it. Also, this is what I use in the Betterly conversions. And as long as you got a good clean bore, you got no problem with this. The pressure ain't that high. It's not as high as the other rounds, and you'll see that here in a minute. But again, the fact that the velocity is different and everything else, and you change the bullet, the style of bullet, you're going to have to do a sighting and see where the hell the gun is shooting. Simple as that. That's just the way it is with these Carcanos. You're using Kentucky windage to get you down there. So I'm going to shoot in the same spot I was and see what the hell that is. Yeah, a lot less recoil, a little smoky, but let me go see where my sighter went, and then I'll be able to zero in. Okay, the first one was not as far to the right as the others. It was actually to the right of the bull, meaning that this bullet is almost on center line, and it's high. So I have to watch. I had to sight up a little. I was thinking the velocity at this distance, probably not, but then like I said, at 100 yards, it's going to be a whole different ball game, and you best have a really large backstop to figure out your compensation. But something's telling me the way the cost of things are and what reloading and everything, this cast bullet may be the most economical load to go with. It's nice, soft shooting, and I'll discuss that more. But let's try to get an impressive target for you fellas. And I know some of these places out there are charging you guys for cast bullets more than what you can buy the PPU jacketed bullets. I mean, they are available. So this cast bullet thing may be the way to go. Let me see where I'm shooting. Maybe I'll run another clip through this. It is fun, and in a way it kind of is more inexpensive, but I'll talk more about that in another video. Newer ones. The only thing about cast bullets is when you change the alloy, or if you're using scrap lead and you get something in your mix that'll throw the alloy off, it can change the impact on this. That's why whenever I do my cast bullets, I always get certified lead, and go with that. It's more expensive, it's like $3 a pound, but it does translate into accuracy out on the range. You know, I know some people, well, I gave somebody $40 for 500 pounds of lead or something, you know, and the stuff won't pass the damn bullet, save your life. So that's another thing. Let's see if I can zero in on this. And again, our little clip don't want to drop off. Alright, I'm going to go retrieve that target, show it to you, or maybe we'll walk down and take a look at it. That's the last one for today anyway. Well, there we are. We have all 12 of them inside that target. Okay. The first one I shot was up there, and then I tried compensating. I got some in the block, but like I said, the groups are nice. Okay. The groups are real nice. So with a little bit of practice, it's pretty good accuracy for a Carcano. So you're asking what's the whole point of this video? Well, I've been kicking around some ideas, okay, and like I'm trying to throw this pitch in, the best thing to do is get a membership. That way you have priority communication with me. I would like to try to hear your experiences with these different ammos and the results you got, what happened, keyholing, whatever, and also, you know, trying to make an assessment of what's going on is basically what it is. I'd like your feedback and to converse on that. So, you know, get a membership. And also another thing, if you do not reload, okay, what have you been doing with all your fired brass? Okay, I strongly suggest you keep track of it, and there may be a way to redeem something from the fired brass. Okay, that's another idea I'm kicking around. So just stay tuned to the channel and bear with me, and we'll see if I can figure out a way or find a way that you can get some halfway decent ammo for your guns.